Hello students. So yesterday we have started with that of the habitat. Habitat is what the surrounding in which an organism lives that defines its habitat. Now in a habitat it is basically consisting of a two component, that is biotic component and abiotic component. Biotic component include all the living things, that is of the plant, animals, microorganisms. While that of the abiotic component, it includes the non-living things like soil, water, air. All these things comes in a abiotic component. So you know students that a biotic component can survive only in the presence of a abiotic component. Okay, so the interaction between that of the biotic and the abiotic component is very important. Later on, we discuss about the adaptation. How an animal can survive in a particular habitat by doing some changes over a long period of a time in its feature, make itself to survive in such condition. Now today we will continue with the same topic, that is adaptation. Now you see that in the ocean habitat, you see the plant and the animals, they are surrounded by the saline water. What is the saline water, student? It means they are surrounded by the salty water. So most of the plant and the animal which live in the ocean, they uses oxygen which is dissolved in water for breathing. Okay, so only the animal like that of the sea fish or the marine fish and the other such creature can survive in an ocean habitat because changes have occurred in their body structure over a long period of a time which help them to survive in the saline water of a ocean habitat. So student, you see that we studied that the cactus, they can survive in the desert because they undergo a lot of changes in a long period of a time. The same thing with that of the ocean habitat, the plant and the animals, they are surrounded in the ocean habitat or in the ocean by salty water. Okay, so they have to take the oxygen from the dissolved water in the same salty water. So the marine fish only or such kind of creators can survive in the ocean habitat. It is because they have developed their body structure, they have undergo a lot of changes over a long period of a time, and due to which they are able to survive in the saline water, in the that of the salty water of the ocean habitat. So the ocean consisting of a lot of salt, and the animals who are able to survive in it can only able to live there. So creatures who are living there, they had made their body in such a way that they can live easily in that of the salty water of the ocean and sea. Now see here, when we were talking about the desert, there is no water at all, and when we talking about the ocean, we are talking the creatures which are present in the water. So you see the desert and that of the ocean, they are a very different habitat, and even their environment is also very different. So since they are having a different situation, different environment is there, different surrounding is there, so they are having different kind of a plant and the animal who can live in such kind of a habitat. Okay, so the animals who wants to live in the desert or in that of the ocean, they have generated their body, they have undergo the changes, and these changes take a lot of a time, and after which their body becomes able to survive in such condition. So a living thing can survive in a particular habitat if its body is suited or if its body adapted to the environment or to the condition of that habitat. Okay, so either a plant or the animals, if they want to survive in that particular surrounding, they have adapted themselves, they adapted their body in such a way that they can survive in that particular environment. Okay, and for this they have developed special characteristics or the features in their body so that they can survive in their habitat properly. Okay, so this is what it is, the adaptation. Every living organism wants to survive, want to live, and they can live in a reason if their body changes themselves, if their body develop a characteristics and thus makes itself to survive in that particular reason. So by this we can define that of the adaptation, student, that is the presence of a specific feature which enable a plant or an animal to live in a particular habitat is called the adaptation, or we can say the process which enable organisms to survive in their environment in order to ensure survival is the adaptation. And how are they able to survive? They are able to survive by the presence of the special features, specific features which make them to survive in that particular habitat. So this is the adaptation. Every living organism have to adapt to survive. Now if we see, if we can understand this topic of adaptation by taking help of an animal which is able to survive in that of the desert area. So we will take an example of a camel. So you see, student, the camel is what? It is mainly able to survive in the desert condition. It means the body structure of the camel, it helps it to survive in the desert condition. So camel is adapted to live in a desert because it is having some kind of a special features, and due to which in such a harsh condition it is able to survive properly. So the first one is the long legs. So the camel has long legs, and these legs keep its body away from the hot sand in the desert. Okay, so keep camel off the hot sand, help to keep cool. So it is having long legs, and these long legs help its body to be away from the hot sand and thus making it cool. The second property of the camel, that it drinks a large amount of water. You know, students, that in desert area the amount of water is very less. So wherever or whenever it is available, it drinks a lot of water and stored in the body. Now the third one is that these camel body, its body is like that it save water in the dry desert. You know that the amount of water is very less, so its body is having such a feature, is adapted in such a way that it can save a water. Okay, a good amount of water. How? Camel passes a small amount of urine. Okay, not only this, its dung, it is dry, and as well as it does not sweat. So you see, student, that passing the urine, if the dung is dry, as well as that of the sweat, if it is not it does not sweat, it means that from all these processes it is not excreting the water which is present in its body. So since a camel loses a very little water from its body, it can live for many days without drinking water. So by this method, camel is able to survive, camel is able to save water in the dry desert. By discharging a small amount of a urine, its dung dry, and by not sweating, it does not sweat. So by all these features, it makes camel to save water. Next one, its hump. You see student, a camel hump has a fat stored in it. Okay, so what happen if it is having the fat in its hump? So in case of an emergency, these camel can break down the stored fat to obtain water. Okay, so hump, which is present at the back, this elevated portion is the hump of the camel. It is stored fat in it, and whenever it is a kind of an emergency or whenever a camel need it, the camel break down the fat to obtain water. Last one is, these camel, they are having large padded feet. Okay, so they are having a large flat feet, or they are having a padded feet, which help it to walk easily on the soft sand. You see, if suppose you are walking on a sand, then what happen? Your legs get sink into that of the soft sand. But that of the camel, since the feet is large and flat, as well as the feet is, we can say it is padded feet, so it help it to walk easily on the soft sand. So these are the different body structures, the features of the camel, which make it to survive in the dry desert also. Okay, because of such features, it can survive in a very less water region also. Now we will see the adaptation of that of the fish. So you see student, when we talk about the fish, the structure of the fish, it help to survive inside the water. A normal animal cannot survive in the water, but the fish is having such features which make it to survive in the water. So fish is adapted to live life in water because it is having some kind of a special features. The first one is, if you see a fish, the head, trunk and that of the tail of the fish, it merges together to form a streamed-like body shape. Okay, so head, trunk and tail together gives a streamlined shape, and these streamlined body shape help the fish to move through the water very easily. Okay, due to this structure, due to this streamlined body, it makes it to move easily in the water without any resistance. Because you see, the shape is like that student, that a very less surface area is there. Okay, and due to which it is able to move properly without facing the resistance shown by that of the water current. Okay, so the first foremost thing is, it is having the streamlined body shape. Then the second one, it is having a very special organ, and that is called gills. So you know that the gills is there which help in absorbing the oxygen which is dissolved in the water for breathing. Okay, and that is why if you will take this fish on the dry land, it cannot survive. Okay, so the gills are there, it is only there to absorb the oxygen which is dissolved in the water. So fish can live in water only because it is adapted to breathe in water. If you take it outside on a dry land, its body shape, it is not adapted, as well as it is not able to breathe on the land. Why is it so? Because the fish is able to take the oxygen from the water, or we can say it takes the oxygen dissolved in the water, dissolved oxygen. Okay, it cannot take the oxygen directly from the air, so it will be not able to survive on the land but can breathe in the water. Now you see, if you see the structure of that of the fish, student, you will find that these fishes, they are having a slippery scales. Okay, these slippery scales, it is present all over its body, and these scales, it protect the body of the fishes from water, and due to which it help in the easy movement of the fishes through water. So body is like that it help its movement in the water, and just because of the scales present in it. Now you see here, it is having a tail also. These tails, they are very strong tail, and these tails help in the swimming. Not only this, you can see here it is having a flat fins, and these fins, it help in changing the direction while moving in the water, as well as it keeps its body balanced in the water. Okay, so these are the some of the features of the fishes who can adapt, who can survive inside the water only. The first one is its shape is a streamlined shape, and due to which it will face very less resistance in the water. The second thing, that it is having the gills for respiration. So these gills, the special organ which can take only the dissolved oxygen. Third one, it is having the slippery scales which make it move easily in water. Fourth one, it is having strong tail which help it while swimming. And the fifth one is the fins which help in changing the direction, as well as it keeps its body balanced in the water. Okay, so these are the features of that of the fishes. So by this discussion, we came to know that a camel is adapted to the desert environment, while a fish is adapted to live in water. Adaptation to a habitat does not take place in a short time. You see that they had gained such features, and the changes and the features they gained, it does not take place in a day or in a month. It takes a lot of a time. So over thousands of a year, the abiotic factor of a region, it changes, and the animals and the plants, they survive according to that. Now those animals and the plant which cannot survive to these changes, they die out. And only those which get adapted to the changed environment, they are able to survive. So the animals and the plants who changes themselves, who develops a features in themselves over 1,000 of a year, over a long period of a time, so that they can survive in the changed environment, they are able to survive. Okay, they are able to live. And those who are not able to adapt themselves according to the abiotic factor, according to their environment, they die out. Okay. Now if we talk about the habitat, student, so we'll start with the terrestrial habitat. Now terrestrial habitat is a very important one, and there are some of the important division of the terrestrial habitat. First one is the desert, second one is the mountain region, third one is the forest or that of the grassland. Okay, so forest, grassland, or the desert, or that of the mountain region, these all are that of the terrestrial habitat. Now we will see that of the desert. So what is desert? If somebody said to you that we went to desert area, so what are the first thing that comes in your mind? That is a waterless area of a land which is covered with sand, which is having little or no plants or no vegetation at all, we call it a desert. Okay, desert is what? Which is covered totally with the sand, which is having very little amount of water, which is having very little or no vegetation or no plants at all. The dominant factor in the desert habitat, that is the shortage of the water. And not only this, the shortage of the water is also due to the high temperature. So the temperature is high and there is scarcity of the water. There is shortage of the water. So these are the factors by which you can say, yes, it is a desert area which is covered with the sand, which is having very less amount of water and temperature is very high. Now the plant and the animals, they have to protect themselves. So they protect themselves from what? From the excessive loss of the water and too much heat which is present in the desert. So the animals and the plant who are there or want to survive in that particular region, in that desert area, desert region, they have to protect themselves. If they want to survive, they have to protect themselves from the loss of water and from heat. Okay, so they have to adapt their body in such a way that they can live in such conditions. So what are the different adaptation which is shown by the desert animals by which they are able to live in such condition? So you see, student, if we talk about the adaptation of the animals living in the desert area, so the desert animals, they survive by living in burrows. Okay, during the hot day time, especially you see that of the desert rat and that of the snake. So they live in burrows to avoid the sun. Okay, so especially if you see in the desert area, there are some animals like that of the desert rat and desert snake, and these do not have a long legs like that of the camel. So how they survive there? Okay, so they keep their body away from the hot desert sand. And how they are able to keep their body away from the hot desert sand? First of all, they live in the burrows. Okay, and these burrows help it to avoid the sun. So they dig a deep burrows in the sand and stay in them during the daytime when it is very hot. And the burrows, it stay cool during the day because it is deep inside. Okay, and because of that, these animals, they protect themselves from the sun's heat. Okay, as well as from the loss of the water from their body. These desert rat and the desert snake, during the daytime, they goes into the burrow, but they come out of the burrows only during the cool night in search of the food. So they remain inside in the burrows during the whole daytime when it is very hot, when there is a chances of the loss of water from the body. And they come out of the burrows during the cool night in search of the food. The second property which is shown by these desert rat and that of the snake to survive in the hot desert, having a lack of water, that these desert rat and desert snake, they pass out very small amount of urine and hence conserve water in their body. So we have studied in case of a camel, student, the camel, it excrete a less amount of a urine, and due to the less discharge of the urine as well as the dry dung, it conserves, it saves water in the body. The same thing with that of the desert rat and snake, it passes out very small amount of a urine. Okay, and help it conserves water in their body. So the animals like that of the camel, they are having long legs, they are having certain features by which it can survive in the desert, and the other animals who are having very short leg or who are having almost they do not have a legs or do not have a long legs, they survive in the hot desert as they adapt their body in such a way. So they dig a deep burrows and live there for the daytime, and as well as they passes out a small amount of urine, hence conserving water in their body. Now the question is that how the desert plant they adapt themselves to live in that region. So in the hot desert habitat, water is not available to the plant in sufficient quantity around the year and due to the very less rainfall. Moreover, the high temperature in the hot desert increases the evaporation of the water from the leaves. So water is not available, and due to high temperature, the transpiration rate or the evaporation rate of the water increases from the leaves. So there is a chances of a very more evaporation, due to which there is a shortage of the water from that of the plant. So the plants in the desert habitat, they are well adapted to cope with the shortage of the water and a high temperature by storing water whenever available and reducing the loss of the water. So since the rainfall is less and the evaporation is more, so the loss of water will be more, so they have to adapt themselves in such a way that they can cope up with this situation. So what are the different adaptation by which the desert plant can survive in the hot and the dry environment of the deserts is the first thing. If you see the leaves in that of the desert plant, they are either absent or they are very small, and if they are supposed present, they are present in the form of spine or thorns. You can take an example of a cactus. So cactus is what? It does not have a leaves, but it is having spines, it is having thorns in it. So the desert plant, they do not have a leaves, and if the leaves are present, they are very small, or spine or thorns are present in the form of a leaves. Why leaves are absent, student, or why leaves are very small in case of the desert plant? Because you know the process of transpiration, process of evaporation of a water, it take place through leaves only. So if the leaves will be not present, or if the leaves will be small, it will help in reducing the loss of our water from the leaves through transpiration. As well as you see that the desert plant, they lose water through transpiration. So if the leaves are not present, they are able to survive by storing water for a long time. So these leaves are responsible for the process of transpiration. Water get evaporated from it, so it help in reducing the loss of water from the leaves. The second one, since the leaves of the desert plant, they are either absent or very small, the stem of the desert plant are modified to perform the function of the leaves. Okay, so in desert plant, photosynthesis is usually carried out by their green stems. So in the first one, we discussed, student, that the leaves of the desert plant are either absent or very small. So if the leaves are absent, the question is that what part of the plant will going to perform the photosynthesis? Because the photosynthesis, it help in preparing the food. So it is a very important phenomenon a plant do. And if leaves are not there, then which part will perform the photosynthesis? So in case of the desert plant, the stems, they modified themselves. They are green in color and we call it a green stem, and this is because of that they are responsible in performing the process of photosynthesis. So the stem, they modify themselves so that they can perform the function of the leaves, or they can perform the photosynthesis. Okay. If you see the other property, the stem of the desert plant, they modified themselves in such a way that they stored a large amount of water. Okay. Stem of the desert plant, they are covered with a cuticle layer. A wax layer is there, student. A thick waxy layer is present in it, and that layer, it prevents the loss of water from it. So cuticle is there, a thick waxy layer is there which prevent the loss of water. Not only this, if you see the roots, so most of the desert plant, they are having the long roots, and these roots, it goes deep into the soil for absorbing water. So the desert plant, they do not have a leaves, and due to which rate of evaporation reduces. It means it reducing the loss of water. The stems, they modify themselves to perform photosynthesis. The stems, they are able to store water because a cuticle layer is present over it which prevent the loss of water, as well as the roots of the desert plant, it goes deep inside for absorbing water.